Assalamu alaikum everyone. As a part of Huda, I feel delighted to welcome the founder and managing director of Huda Education, Ms. Rafiah Mudassir. She is a role model and a compassionate soul and an educational leader par excellence. She's an education leader. She doesn't want long introductions, and she says that Huda speaks for itself. So please, ma'am, today we welcome you to speak something for us.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and a very good morning and welcome to our second Teachers Leadership Summit 2022. I will begin with the name of Allah and force a prayer that Rabbi Shrah li Sadri wa Yassir li Amri wahlul 'uqdatun min lisani yafqahu qawli. It is a difficult and trying time for all of us as Pakistanis, and believe me, it was very tough on me to actually go ahead with this summit. But since we had been planning for it for a few months, and it was already postponed once because I was on Hajj. So this time I just felt that we should just go on, carry on with whatever we have planned. And we have dedicated all the fee that you people have paid, the nominal fee that we charge for the conference, to the relief efforts that we have been doing. And I had started it at Hajj only when somebody from Quetta approached me and I would like you to say Fatiha for one of my volunteers who washed away in this floods. And he was the one who would actually do a lot of relief work in winters and collect clothes for young children, warm clothes. So we were supporting him in that effort, and that was one bad news that I got as soon as I reached back from Hajj. So back to ITLS, International Teacher Leadership Summit. As you all know that last year when we planned, it was a very extensive one with 3 days. And these 3 days were occupied onto exploring each and every aspect of teacher leadership that I feel that the teacher should know about. And the role has come to the forefront, the teacher leadership role has come to the forefront after the pandemic, where teachers actually took on the role of leading their classrooms, leading the curriculum, leading the students. And I felt that they needed training, they needed guidance, and they were seeking it. And they actually met the challenge of going online and also hybrid teaching and balancing themselves. And it was very brave of them to adopt to the new norm and also go online. So last year's, I would just like to recap the two keynotes. The first one was by Michael Fullan. If you could run the presentation I've just sent, the people can see the visual. I've just sent it to you people. So I'm just going over the recap. So the recap was, the first keynote was by Michael Fullan, and Michael Fullan talked about deep learning. He said that systems are changing, learning is changing all across the globes, and the future professions are changing. And that actually requires that we indulge students into deep learning. And for that, the teachers have to change their practices, the teachers have to change their pedagogies, and they have to involve in experiential learning as well as involving students in experiential learning, and also to find what the students want to learn and what they want to incorporate into their daily routines in schools and colleges. So the deep learning has the 6 C's, and we have been talking about them, and a few have been added. Critical thinking, collaboration, आप लोगों को मालूम ही है. Uske alawa, the other things that have been added because of the world becoming a global village and we connecting online to everyone around is character and citizenship. I would talk about character because this is one thing that has come to the forefront, to the limelight, as we feel that the values in the society have been declining. And we need to revisit, go back to our values and to our system, and to actually incorporate it into our teaching and learning of daily routines. So that is one program, value-based leadership, that Huda has been running. And the aim was to actually help people identify the values that they already have embedded in them, but maybe they have forgotten or they have taken a back seat. The challenges that we are faced with right now in the world, and of course, to prepare our children for the future, the future that is uncertain, the future that we do not know about. Even I don't know about. I have 3 very smart children, and I have come to these things because I felt that I needed guidance even as an educator. I needed guidance as a parent, that how to help them go about it, how to help them embrace the future and be prepared for the future professions in which they will be stepping. We in our times did a degree and we got into the professions that we are in, but the future of professions, even a child who's studying MBBS or wanting to be a doctor, will have to study robotics, will have to study maybe the marketing subjects to be able to face the future, to be able to lead, succeed in life, in his profession, in his personal life. So this changing nature of teaching and learning and the requirements actually raise a lot of questions. So we are not only faced with developing 21st century skills, but there are certain attributes that our children would be needing as they progress through their professional lives, their student lives. So embedding these attributes like resilience, like grit, like perseverance, like compassion. I would talk about compassion, and last time we talked a lot about compassion. Even in the leaders conference, the heads conference that we had in December 2020 with Abasa at TDC. Compassion was one important component of it, and we have been talking about that. And we, as you can see, we need a more compassionate world. We need leaders, we need people who are able to actually understand the gravity of the situation, be critical thinkers, but at the same time be compassionate to the fellow human beings, and find the solutions to the massive or large scale problems like the climate change that we are faced with. Then in the second one, Abbas साहब का दूसरा keynote speech था जिसमें he talked about teachers spending at least a number of hours to become trained. So are we as teachers still continuing with that tradition of actually learning? Those who are here, yes, definitely they are. And people like myself who keep on learning every day. And last week also, I was at a conference that was a corporate conference of leaders in Islamabad from all top corporates who were talking about that what sort of students, pass outs or graduates that they need in businesses today in different fields. So there were people from telecom to real estate to all sorts of professions. And what I noticed was they were talking about technology 5.0. And we started off with technology 1.0, which is now 5.0. So it is artificial intelligence, it is blockchain, it is Internet of Things. So if you look at artificial intelligence in daily life right now, we, even for our visit to a doctor, or even if you are keeping track of your blood pressure, or you're dependent on your smartphone now. The smartphone tells you that you need to take your medicine. Your smartphone tells you that even for Quran, I would say I was at Hajj, my sister introduced me to an app which has a digital Quran, and that Quran actually sends me a message every Friday that I have to recite Surah Kahf, or this week the recitation hours are so and so. So we have moved towards a quantified life where data is of utmost important. And this data, how to use that data, how to actually make sense of that data is one another thing which we need to prepare as teachers and help our students understand and learn from it. So the 6 C's that I was talking about, character, citizenship. Citizenship is another one. We are now global citizens, and being global citizens, we need to be more responsible of our responsibilities as global citizens, which means being mindful of the language that we use on such social media, being mindful of the causes that we follow, being mindful of the information that we are using, understanding, or sharing. So all these things are of utmost importance right now, which raises a question and has an implication for the student, for the teachers, for the head teachers, for the policymakers, for the curriculum writers, that what sort of a curriculum that we need to have for our future generations. And then I talk about Vision 2030, with which I actually launched Noorul Huda, that the sustainable development goals for education, quality education, say that it should be inclusive, it should be equitable, and it should embrace lifelong learning. So the teachers, my question is, have you embraced lifelong learning? Are you learning every day? Are you changing every day? Do you reflect on your learning? Do you actually look at how you are growing as a teacher and what you are contributing to the teaching profession, as well as your students, as well as your community, as well as your country? So teachers have a very, very important role to play in this time where we are on a fast track of innovation, technology, change, and it requires these changes to be embedded into our curriculum and into whatever we are doing in the classroom. So we need to ask ourselves that apart from teaching my curriculum, am I teaching my children, the students in the classroom, compassion? Am I teaching them some good values? Am I contributing something to their pastoral care also, where they grow into healthy individuals? You are taking care of not only your own well-being as a teacher, but also the students present in the class. You see, in this world, the sort of challenges that we are faced with, one thing that is often neglected is the well-being. And that is another, these are the four important trends in education, in all economic development. And it says that the Forbes says, and even the Economic Forum says that these four have to be embraced to be able to have a better future for our children or for ourselves. And these four include inclusion, that is including everyone. I attended a workshop and I came back from Hajj at the AMI Institute, where they were talking about how they are inclusive, how they are embracing inclusion, and actually having students with special needs present in the classroom. The other one is diversity. We need to be tolerant and patient of the different point of views, opinions, people, cultures around us. And we have to teach this to our children, because our children will be working in task-based teams, where they will be faced with a person from Africa, from America, from Middle East. So they should be able to actually pay respect and understand the cultures of people, and be patient and be tolerant of things that they don't like. So this is another thing that we need to work on. Being a country where we actually have very extreme opinions about everything, we need to teach our children tolerance and patience. And I have been talking about compassion, and that is something that I practice at Noorul Huda. We practice it in each and everything that we do. We need to have a more compassionate world where people actually take care of others, understand, are able to put themselves in the shoes of others and find solutions and work together to make a better world for everyone. And for, of course, for our own self, first of all. So these are the few things that I wanted to share, and I feel that this is what Noorul Huda has been working on. I believe I'm a firm believer in the hidden capacity. I would not say potential. Potential is a word that limits. Capacity is unlimited. We all have been blessed with unlimited capacity as human beings by Allah Ta'ala. And one way of thanking Allah is to actually be able to tap into that and utilize it to grow as a human, to grow and vibrate at a higher frequency, and be able to actually lead the students as teachers, to be able to lead the students, to lead our families, because in different situations we are leaders. We all are leaders. We all take up a leadership role somewhere or the other. Even if you're a mother, even if you're a sister, you're a wife, there will be a situation where you will take on the leadership role. Another thing that I always propagate is that we all are leaders, and we need to understand what is it that is the best in us, and what is that aspect in which we can lead. and then take on that role and make a difference to the world, make a difference to our students, make a difference to our schools. So this is my message to all the teachers present today, that wherever you are, make a difference. And it can start with a very little small example. It's not necessary कि आप पूरा curriculum change करें, आप एक chapter change करें, आप एक methodology change करें, आप एक lesson change करें, and contribute to the best of your ability. Thank you so